Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Colorado Rockies. We are in the middle of the 2031 season. This should be, I believe, episode 21 at this point, and we are having some fun now. I'm really concerned that I said that immediately, but at the same time, I think we're doing pretty well. We're 58 and 32. You can see from the bar graph in the middle of the screen, it hasn't always been sunshine and lollipops and roses and puppy dogs, okay? We had some real big struggles. Around May, we just couldn't quite figure it out. We were doing okay. We were over 600 on the winning percentage for most of that period of time, but the Padres were just keeping pace with us for some reason, and we didn't quite know how to shake them. They have since fallen off, and they are back into a tie for second place, but 11 and a half games out, and we have once again risen above the rest. We are the cream of the crop, basically, at this point, and we are back to our usual top tier position in the National League West. We are at a little bit over the halfway mark. We're up to now officially 90 games exact into the regular season. We just completed the first year player draft. We'll have a lot to talk about in regards to that. But you guys can see who's hot right there in the middle of the screen. Richard Dominguez, Juan Fien, and Larry Kunkel are all hot. And I know Juan Fien is not technically starting. Um, he has been put to the bullpen right now, but Mercurius has been good. Valdez has been serviceable. Richard Dominguez has been pretty good off and on. Kunkel continues to amaze us. He is such a good pitcher at this point. Um, you know what's actually been interesting? The offense doesn't feel like it's been doing that well. We are first in runs scored, second in batting average, third in home runs, definitely first in the stolen base category, but it just doesn't feel like it's exactly clicking that well. I mean, you look at our team stat rankings in the bottom right hand corner, and we're first, second, first, third, first, second in all the offensive categories, but it just doesn't feel like it. Bobby Witt is having a okay season. At this point, if he opts out, I'm okay with that. He's not doing great. He's only 4 stars now. I'm actually kind of concerned that he won't opt out because his contract might be worth it at this point. Jackson Holiday has been good, but I just don't feel like he's been that good. I mean, we're paying him 38 million and he's supposed to be the replacement for Bobby Witt Jr. So, he's going to have to step it up, otherwise he's just far and away not quite hitting the mark for us, unfortunately, either. Riley Green is having a okay-ish season. It's a 5-war season, but he's not hitting 300 or above. He's still 5 stars, and he's definitely going to, opt out at the end of the season. But his injury proneness is now wrecked. That's gotten worse over the year. He hasn't been injured, thankfully. He's been playing in 82 of those 90 games, but it's just an interesting season for Riley Green. I think he'll still do really, really well, but the speed's going away. He's not hitting for average as well. Just feels like as if there's some problems with him for some reason. Another person who's been doing kind of off and on good is Charlie Condon. He had a really good season last year. I don't think I quite understood just how good of a season Charlie had last year. 6.2 WAR last year. He's looking at only about a 4.3 WAR this season. 45 home runs, but he's had himself catch on fire in the last, I'd say, about 2 or 3 weeks of the season. He was not doing well at the beginning of the season. He is finally turning it on now. So, Charlie Condon, I expect him to do okay. Probably hit closer to 50 homers by the end of the regular season. Still be up there in the RBIs total, but someone that we got to watch out for, because if Charlie starts to get down on some of these batting ratings, he could really take a fall, like really hard. So, got to be careful with Charlie Condon here a little bit. Otherwise, Jackson Merrill is probably one of the better hitters right now on the squad. He's definitely going to be having his second best season of his career. He's going to be, topping his home run records and doubles records. And I think if the speed catches back up, he's pretty good. And he's been a solid center fielder for us this season. He's not a Brenton Doyle, but he's a positive center fielder, and that's all we're looking for right now. So I still think that the Jackson Merrill acquisition was still very, very good. Amador is not doing well. He is struggling. He's playing he's playing second base right now fairly well. but he's just speed at this point. It's just a little bit of hitting and a lot of speed. So he's got to be able to get that batting average back up and get the. It's probably a combination of batting average, slugging percentage, and BABIP that he's just kind of having some problems with. So he's got to get better. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough season for him. And he's got a lot of years left on his contract. He's got another 4 seasons left. So Ugh, he might have to be trade bait at the end of the season, depending upon how things go. Tovar came back from his injury. He's been doing very well. He's a 300 hitter. He's only got a 99 OPS plus and a 1.7 WAR, but hopefully he'll be able to get back upwards of maybe a 5 WAR season. He'll have 122 games, so he's got some time to catch back up and be able to work well. But I'm starting to have my second thoughts about keeping Tovar. I mean, we're already assuming that we're not keeping Tovar because we're going to qualify and offer him. But it's just kind of being justified now that he's had multiple seasons now where it's just like he gets injured and the defense is good, but the offense is mostly just batting average, I want to say now. He's not having the pop and the power like he used to. We're far and away from that 8.5 WAR season he had 2 to 3 years ago at this point. 2 years ago, technically, at this point. The 54 doubles, 26 homers, 40 stolen bases, batting 334, and a 156 OPS plus. So it just feels like every single season somebody else is having a career WAR season, but they don't all happen at once. Stroman is having an okay season. He's still above average for batting. Um, He's been playing right field the entire season. I feel like he'll be doing pretty good out there, but I think he's going to be our replacement shortstop for Tovar, and that's just a guarantee at this point. So, Stroman probably going to be playing shortstop next season, and he's got certain skills that look just like Tovar, except for some of the speed and a little bit of the defense is not quite there. But he's also been pitching a little bit this year. He's not doing that great, but he's kind of like he's basically our mop-up guy, basically, at this point. So, still not the worst thing in the world. We are waiting to hear back from Romo. He's been out for a little bit of time now. He actually has a bone marrow edema that he had to get fixed. So, we've been unfortunately without our best catcher, but he's also been having a really rough time this season. So, again, that batting ability of his is just going down and down and down. And it's gonna be a question that's gonna have to be asked is do we trade Romo away before he turns into a 3-star defensive only catcher who can run but can't hit to save his life? So, unfortunately, there's going to have to be a really tough question asked probably this offseason of do we trade Romo away for somebody that would give us an option, probably a pitcher down the road. Otherwise, the team has been doing very, very well. Larry Kunkel has been doing phenomenally as our ace pitcher. Still has a little bit of development left to be able to obtain, but he's a 5-star pitcher at this point, and he's looking really locked in this year. We're looking at potentially a career high season for Larry Kunkel, which, of course, no doubt last year was his only season. So he's looking to not have a sophomore slump. That's the best part, is that there's no sophomore slump looking to be on the horizon. He's looking to be topping all of his numbers. He should be really good this season. So we're hopeful that he will continue to be the best pitcher in baseball because, again, we have him signed for a very, very long time until he is 37, unless he opts out. But I don't think he'll opt out for $50 million at the end of his contract. I think he'll stay. But then again, I could be wrong. Scott Cowles has been very good. This is his first full season in the big leagues. He has been mostly in the bullpen. He is now officially our number 5 starter. We'll have to see how he does in the second half of the regular season. Otherwise, Richard Dominguez has been doing actually fairly well in the major league position. He's actually got he's on pace for a 3.1 WAR season. He's doing very well. Valdez has been doing okay. He's on pace for a 3.5 WAR season. It's going to be the same thing Hazy had last season. So that's good. I'll absolutely take that at this point for a fragile left-handed throwing extreme ground baller playing in Coors Field. That is acceptable. Alexander Mercurius is definitely having a good season. This is his first full season in the rotation for the Colorado Rockies, and he's making the most of it. He's on pace for a 3.6 WAR season, and he's been doing very, very nicely. The rest of the team, the bullpen has been so good. We had a problem. We're starting to notice some cracks in some of our reviews of characters, now that we see them in the full light, it's a bit tougher. Lovato has not been very good, but he still has a positive 1.0 WAR. Will Vest has been actually proving us wrong that he should have been the closer, but he's still doing very, very well. 1.1 WAR, a 1.78 ERA. He's given us at least 5 saves and 3 wins to his name. But then Jorge Rodriguez has been everything advertised. He's definitely still kind of adjusting to the league a little bit. He's dropped down from a 4.5 stars to a 4-star pitcher, but this is still going to be one of the better relief pitchers out there. He could be trade bait down the road, but we'll see about that. Um, he has such a good strikeout potential for his abilities. I mean, he's probably going to do about, I mean, we're projected to have him go about 58 innings of pitching and have 74 strikeouts to his name on 11.4 K per 9 innings pitched, and only a zero point 0.8 homers allowed per 9 and a 3.5 walk, which is acceptable for a person who only has 63 out of 70 control. So still really good pitcher for us at this point. Still has a little bit of ability that could potentially be drawn out of him for those stuff pitches, but otherwise he's doing really well. 22 saves, on pace for 40 saves on the regular season. So he's doing well. We've had some struggles. We're working through some stuff, and we'll do just fine. Juan Fien has made 11 starts this regular season. He was doing okay, but again, we really are pushing Juan Fien here to actually be a starter. He really should be in AAA, continuing to work on stuff because as you guys can see, he was okay in AAA, but he's definitely out of his league in the majors. He's really not supposed to be here. He's barely a 3-star pitcher in AAA. So we're pushing him. We're pushing him hard, unfortunately, and we'll see what we can do about that. We did get Kalaz back from the Brewers. He literally played 1 game for the Brewers, and he's now back in our system in AAA and performing very, very nicely. So we're happy to have him back. Maybe he'll be able to develop a little bit more of his batting, and maybe we'll be able to have him join the big leagues next season. Otherwise, everything in the bullpen elsewise has been pretty good. You're going to have high ERAs. It's just Colorado, okay? And then, of course, we still have all of our depth people at this point. Nelson Rada has come back from his injury, but he is actually now officially on our bench. He is our utility outfielder slash speed demon. I don't know if I could ever be able to get his contract out at this point. He's too expensive. So, unfortunately, this is the one bad signing that we have unfortunately been left to hold on to, and that is Nelson Rada's bat is just gone. His speed is still there, but his bat's just not the same as it was in previous seasons, and I should have recognized that a little bit sooner. But hey, when you have a 6.1 WAR season and a 5 WAR season, anyone's gonna be like, okay, well, we'll send you, we'll sign you to a long term deal because you're getting 40 stolen bases and 40 doubles. And he's not going to be anywhere close to that this season. So unfortunately, it's just tough because he wants to play. He should be playing. I really do need to think about trading him now at this point, basically eating a little bit of his contract, probably trading him along with Romo for somebody good and young, and just seeing what I can get out there. So by trade deadline, if we make any deals, it's probably going to be Romo and Rada being dealt for some kind of a pitcher that'll help fill out our number 3 spot or potentially number 2 spot if we can be able to get that. Otherwise, around the league before I get to our emails. The Chicago Cubbies are doing pretty well in the National League. They're our only major rival at this point. So Roseboro, I believe. Yes, I believe Roseboro having a pretty good season so far for the Chicago Cubs. He's on pace to have a career year for his 2nd season in the big leagues, and he's going to be a fun person to compete against. Who else has been doing pretty well? The Giants have been doing pretty well. They've been having a great season from Graneman, Gilbert, and Popkey. They're having a pretty good time over there on their rotation. They've been having some issues with the offense, but that was kind of to be expected. They just don't have any offense to speak of whatsoever, but they have the best starters ERA and the second least runs given up because, of course, actually, we're 4th technically right now. I think it's the Padres. Yeah, Padres first in runs allowed with only 356. So we're pretty close. We're only 30 runs off from them. And the Giants are in second place, of course, with 368. So we're not doing too bad. The Giants are doing really well in their pitching staff. The Padres pitching staff is doing very well. The Dodgers are officially, I hope that they're officially in sell all mode at this point. Batista actually doing pretty well, looking to have 42 home runs in a 6 WAR season. So I still don't think he should have been Rookie of the Year last year, but okay, sure, whatever, game. Vlad Guerrero Jr. continues to be just an absolute beast at first base and a great hitter. Although he's actually having a bit of a downer season, he's not going to be anywhere close to his usual 7 or 8 WAR seasons. So the Dodgers' offense is just, it's good, but it's just not good enough. And we are being able to destroy them in the National League West. Otherwise, around the league, the other good team out there is the Seattle Mariners. We were feeling very threatened by them. They have the best offense and the best pitching staff in baseball right now. 484 runs, sorry, in the American League. They have 484 runs scored, 301 runs against. That's runs allowed. They have a phenomenal bullpen. They have a phenomenal starting rotation. They don't even have their ace pitcher right now. Is he injured? Daniel Mayhew, that's right. Forearm inflammation. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. He was having a very good season, though he was on pace for about a 5 WAR season, I believe. But he is unfortunately down right now with some forearm injury problems. They are having to rely on everybody else to fill in for the slack right now. Otherwise, Bill Lace is doing very, very well. Kyle Tucker's doing very, very well. Combined, they've got 48 home runs. Julio Rodriguez continues to do pretty well. They just have a great team. This is a phenomenally good team. So I can only have good things about them, and they have the best defense. Oh my gosh, their defense is amazing. You talk about people like, well, I mean, Lace is a great second baseman. He's going to be a Gold Glover potentially. You've got Silvestrin, who's also a potential Gold Glover over at shortstop. You've got, if my memory is correct, yeah, Emerson's not bad at third base. He's pretty good. Cole Young is their DH. This is their DH, guys. He's got good defense too. Harris in right field, very, very good. Over and left, very, very good. Rodriguez in center, also pretty good. So they've got nobody who's bad at defense. Even their catcher, Harry Ford's really good. So definitely first in defense efficiency, zone rating, errors. They've got everything that they need. So they're going to be scary. They are going to be a very scary ball club come playoffs, unfortunately. The White Sox are doing pretty well. They are winners of 52 games so far. They're just a couple games behind us, basically. And they've had a really good season from, I think it's Crochet. Yeah, Crochet's been having a really good year for them. Wow. All right. Go Chicago. That's a good one. They've got a lot of good pitching, it looks like. Some pretty good options and some pretty good bullpen arms down here, too. Kevin Kelly. Okay. I see you, Kevin Kelly. That's a pretty good year for you at this point. We'll have to see if anybody else can catch up to the Chicago White Sox. That would really, it would be the Tigers if anybody can do it. Now, that being said, it has not been a good season for Raver Camacho. He's down to 4 stars, and he's only looking at potentially a 4 WAR season. That is a little bit off from his usual 4 to 7. So maybe a little bit of justification for having done the Riley Green trade. I don't think so, but I can dream, right? Okay, I can dream. Either way, they still have some really good arms in their starting rotation, and their bullpen's pretty good. They're a really good team, unfortunately. So Tigers are probably still going to have that division, and then the Boston Red Sox. We talked about them in our last video as the preseason favorites for the American League East. They are absolutely destroying it. McLaughlin is a great pitcher. He's looking at a 7.9 WAR season, so McLaughlin should be moving in as the new expected Cy Young pitcher for the American League. He is definitely going to be one of the better people over there. He leads the league at a 4.2 WAR over McClanahan, who's also from Boston at 3.5. And of course, we are actually technically behind Joan Duran because, of course, the D-backs are starting him because he has just enough stamina and 4 pitches, and he's been doing phenomenally for the D-backs. Yeah, I'm not happy about this. This is the one element of OOTP that I do not like at all. Oh, yeah, sure. Once your pitcher just gets enough stamina, then, one of the best closers in the league can convert to one of the best starters in the league. That makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, okay? Yeah, just no. Just no. So unfortunately, the D-backs have been enjoying that, even though they are not winning very many games. They do have 2 very good starting pitchers in Hom and Duran at this point. Didn't they trade? No, they did not trade Hom. Wow. They've been trying to trade Hom for years. For years, they've been trying to get out of his $33.5 million contract, and he has a player opt out at the end of this year. I would almost say that we trade for Duran at least, but I don't think I really want to trade for a reliever who can barely start. But I'll think about it. Okay, guys, I'll think about it. I mean, at this point, if we can't beat them, join them, I guess. But anywho, the league is doing really well. Let's go ahead and talk about our emails and everything else at this point. We've had a couple of minor awards: Kunkel, Condone, and of course Rodriguez getting Rookie of the Month, I believe, for 2 months out of the year so far. We haven't had a whole lot of emails, in all honesty, because a lot of it was just kind of talking about what we're doing. We've had some awards. We've had some good reports about minor league players. That's kind of been about it. We've just moved through the season as we go along, and we were able to get to our update about the top 100 prospects list. We, of course, are nowhere near the top. We are now 18th. We have Novar, Mullen, and Hernandez on the list, and Novar is now 3.5 stars. So this would be our replacement for Rada. This would literally be our replacement for Rada. Good defending outfielder, could go play center field if we push for that defense to go up even just a little bit further. Um, we might be able to do that. He's been playing now officially in Double-A for about a week and a half at this point after being off in rookie system for some reason. I don't know why he was there, but he is good to go now in Double-A. He should be a whole fun to see as he develops. And if he can get all of these numbers and still keep the speed and a little bit of the defense, he should be a very decent prospect for us. He's not going to be elite. He's not, one of these like top tier people. He's a little bit better than Clement actually, so that's interesting that he's considered 18th and Navarre's 25th. But he's going to have some challenges to go through, but he should be pretty good. And considering the fact that I'm actually not seeing a whole lot of good outfield prospects to begin with, I mean that makes Navarre pretty talented at this point. So, anywho, I'm actually surprised by that. But Mullen's been doing pretty well. He's having a great season down in the rookie system. I think. Yeah, he's been doing above average on the offense. It's just the defense we got to worry about. And we'll probably end up moving him over to left field or right field and just forcing him to play there, basically, because that's just how he's going to have to be. He's not a center fielder. But if we can continue to develop him, that'd be pretty good as well. And then, of course, as always, we are not as always, but now adding to that list of top 100 prospects is, of course, Tony Hernandez. And that's mostly just because of the fact that he's been mostly developed, except for that one last pitch, basically. He's been having an okay season down in AAA. He's had 17 starts, though. So hopeful that he can at least be able to continue developing, maybe get a little bit more, and then get that up to like a 3 star, because that's when you kind of get to like the 3 stars, and then it quickly snowballs into a 3.5 and a 4 if you're not careful. Otherwise, we are still really upset that we did not get to land Alex Rodriguez. He is still playing for the Guardians, of course. He's having a very good season, actually, down in their rookie ball system at this point. And if he can develop, this is going to be someone that I really wish we could have grabbed before he walked out and joined the Guardians, because they have just so many good prospects. They've got McCamey at the catcher position. He's kind of dropped down a little bit, but he's still doing pretty well. He's going to be a fun one for them if he can get that defense up. Otherwise, he's going to be a problem. But Munez is their big one. This is their kid. This is who they think is going to be their shortstop in the years to come. He's got some really good pops and some decent enough batting ability. Kind of reminds me of a younger Francisco Lindor to an extent, but not the speedy version of him, unfortunately. Otherwise, of course, the Athletics are able to still just find really good draft picks. This is their last year's first round draft pick. This is actually really, really good. Wow. This is a really strong draft pick about here. Third overall in the prospect system at this point. This is actually like borderline, really, really good. Good Gold Glove caliber defense. Could play third, short, second. Can play the outfield corners. This is a really well balanced hitting profile, and even though the speed's not there, that defense alone will carry Andy Cohen into the major league at this point. And then, of course, they've got Travis Barrett. He's actually been on the major league squad this season. He is their second baseman, I'm assuming. Yep. And we'll see how he does down the road, too. Alrighty. Otherwise, guys, let's talk about our first year player draft for 2031. I will start out by saying this draft was the worst draft I've ever seen in any of the seasons we've had so far. You're looking at our first round pickup right here. This is Bill Foles. This is our best pickup. This was one of the best people we had. There is only one person who is 3.5 stars by our scouts' predictions. This was the best we could get. He's a little bit more focused on the power and the avoid Ks. We're going to have to teach him how to play a little bit better defense. But This 18-year-old high school senior, is gonna have to be our best option. He played better and better as he got through high school, so that was pretty good to see. Hopefully, that means he'll be able to develop, but that personality class, unfortunately, also kinda scares me a little bit. Jeremy Warren was our second round pickup at this point, another 4-year high schooler, so 18 years of age. He had been doing okay in the high school system. He's got some more power and he's a corner outfielder. We'll see what we can do about him. But again, a little bit of a little greed on that financial ambition for this character and his personality class, but should be able to work with this kid to be able to make him pretty decent and kind of reminds me of Muland for a little bit, just a little bit there. Patrick Tate was our first pitcher selected. He is a reliever out of high school. He's a high school senior. So another 18-year-old right here. He's mostly actually on his way to being developed at this point. So he actually could be an interesting pickup if he can continue to work on some of his stuff. A three-star reliever picked out of high school. This could actually be a pretty good option for us, especially if some of that stuff continues to develop. This could be pretty good. It could be pretty good for us. Estevan Maciel was our sixth round pickup. Yeah, Tate was our fifth, and Maciel was our sixth round pickup. Another a first base option here at this point, probably a DH potentially, but we'll see what we can do about his defense. Otherwise, good hitting profile, but again, this draft was just really, really poor, guys. It's just how it's going to be. Jesse Lowe is a little bit better on the hitting abilities, a little bit worse on the defense. We're gonna have to train him how to play third base a little bit more. Otherwise, he's a DH. But 2-year high schooler, so he's a high school senior, another 18-year-old basically, and he joins our team in the seventh round. This is actually not that bad of a hitting profile. This should probably play pretty well. Frank Armstrong was our second baseman, selected in the eighth round. Another good hitting profile person, better personality on that class over there as well. 4-year high schooler, another 17-year-old this time around out of, what was he out of at this point? Virginia Beach, Virginia. Brendan Gassaway was the ninth round pickup for us this season. And as you guys can see, the quality of this draft was just really, really poor, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to start watching out for that in case that becomes a problem for OOTP here. Sometimes it can just be a rougher season of generated draft class, but sometimes it can also mean that the game just is running out of, players already in the system or in the database that it knows to pull for future seasons that are going to be down the road. And usually by this point, they're already out of those players, but you got to just watch it. You got to watch in case something happens and you suddenly realize, oh, there's only like 6 good players every single draft. That's kind of a problem. Maybe we need to increase the draft quality a little bit just in case. Otherwise, you're just going to watch the league quality go down and down and down. Regardless, this will be a good option for first base, potentially for second base as well, for Brendan Gassaway. I don't think he'll be that the shortstop that he wants to be, but the power is not too bad. The defense is actually acceptable. It's not an air problem, and the running game is not too bad either. This could be someone we could actually work with and train. So we'll see if we can develop into something pretty interesting here. Mike Hand is a really good speed demon, going to play second base for us in the minor league system. He's a 4-year high schooler out of course, Scottsdale, Arizona. He was going to a Scottsdale school called Salt River. He comes from Tempe, Arizona at this point. He was going to go to Stanford, actually, but we went ahead and drafted him in the 10th round, and we are going to have him play for us. He's got a pretty decent balanced bat with some really good speed. We're going to work on all of that. His personality class is very good as well. So kind of reminds me of a Dustin Pedroia to an extent. If we can get a little bit of that, maybe slap power, gap power, basically, could be pretty good. And the defense definitely has to get improved. We go into the second half of our draft, and we started off with Khalil Pascal. He was a defensive oriented with a little bit of speed and not actually a bad hitter either. 4-year high schooler, 18 years of age, out of this is Bedford North Lawrence High School, basically. He was committed to Miami, but we will be picking him up here. Sorry, Miami University. Shouldn't probably call it Miami. There's probably another university called Miami that is very different, and they're probably rivals, and I'm probably just upsetting everybody out there in Florida. My apologies. Personality class should be probably either captain or leader at this point, so he should be pretty good for us at this point. If we can make him develop a little bit more into that second base option, maybe third base. I think third base actually might be our better option for Khalil. We'll see about that, but a good pickup here actually in the 11th round. That's actually not that bad. 12th round goes to Steve Bixler. This is a catcher or first base option for us at this point. He's got some pretty good contact, but got a lot to work with, unfortunately, here to make him get better and better. But 3-year high schooler out of Virginia Beach. Another person from Virginia Beach. Interesting. Fernando Rodriguez is our 13th round selection, another high schooler here. This is a DH type player, basically no speed, no defense. He's just here for hitting. We'll see what we can do to develop him on the hitting side. Otherwise, he may not develop that well with us. But it was really the best option here in the 13th round. John Laura was drafted in the 14th round. Good catcher. Not great, not good in the framing, unfortunately, but the bat was okay. We thought it'd be a good enough option for us to be able to work out of. He's durable on the injury as well. So we thought it'd be an interesting 4-year high schooler to select here, and we'll try to work on that defense. If we can get that up, that's not too bad. Aiden Amara was another catcher we picked up. A little bit more on the defense this time around, but not on that arm. The personality class is unknown. We'll have to check out that and see how it is. But another 4-year high schooler. Now, the bat's a little bit interesting, a little bit more than Laura. Laura was a little bit more balanced, but Amara has no power, but a little bit more contact. A little bit more on that defense compared to Laura. But Amara definitely has some issues, and we'll see what we can do about that personality class if it's something good or something negative. But we'll see what we can do about him. And also, again, not durable on the injury resistance, so a little bit tougher to make him work out, but might be able to make both of these catchers work out and get a 2-for-1. Jabin Zaid was another relief pitcher, I believe. Might be looking to make him into a starter down the road if we can get that control back up and if the stamina gets back up. This actually would be a pretty decent starting pitcher at this point, but he was a closer in college. So he's actually already 21 years of age, somewhat on his way to being developed. We don't have a whole lot of time. He throws 98 to 100 miles per hour out of the bullpen. So we're also thinking about just whether or not he could be a bullpen arm for his career, basically. But either way, 16th round, not a bad selection. Could be mix of results if we get him to get a little bit better on that stamina and the control, or even just the control just to make him a better reliever. Not bad. Not a bad option for us. Chris Benner was a selection in the 17th round. This is kind of, again, this is just how bad the draft was. 2 stars was a phenomenal pickup at this point in the 17th round. 4-year college player. Not a great defender, doesn't have a lot of speed, but the bat is just balanced enough that if we can work on the defense, maybe if he gets some natural talent on that bat, some natural talent change randomness, maybe he'd be pretty good, but probably never going to make the majors, unfortunately. He just doesn't have quite the abilities to be able to get there. Paul Korska was selected actually not to play third, but actually to play first. We want him to play first base, develop the hitting, hopefully. He's got the defense he needs. He's a 4-year high schooler, 6'4" third baseman who's going to be converted to be a first baseman down the road, and we'll see what we can do about Paul. He went in the 18th round. 19th round went to Eric Hayes. I don't know how he went all the way to the 19th round, but it's a relief pitcher, 2.5 stars, which is probably why he fell that far, unfortunately. He's not going to be ever a starting pitching option, so it's just a little bit less valuable for the AI, but we liked him in the 19th round, and even though he was having worse and worse results in high school, we definitely feel like as if we could develop him pretty well, and if we can get a little bit more in that movement, I think that's all I would need to be able to say that he could actually be in the majors down the road. He's only 18 years of age for a left-handed thrower. And our last pickup was Jimmy McKean. This is a bullpen arm as well. So as you can see, no starters this season. We did not draft any starting pitchers this season. Good personality here for Jimmy, and fortunately for us, out of Berlin. I believe that's is that Maine? No, Maryland. Should be Maryland, I believe. Was gonna be came from the Phillips Academy in Andover. He was committed to no college. Ooh, interesting. We picked him up out of a high school with no college commission. All right. Anywho, he's going to be an interesting relief pitcher for us. Some really good stuff. We got to work on that control and that movement. But again, it's the final pick of the draft, the 20th round, 606th pickup. We literally have the last pick in the draft, and this is who we gave it on. Good personality. Hope that he can develop. He's also not actually too bad of a hitter. He might be able to push his hitting up a little bit if we wanted to, but he doesn't really have any position to play either way, so I don't think that'll happen. All right, I'm going to leave you guys here on this screen right here. This is our player development screen. Our budgets are still set to high. We still have a whole lot of stuff working for us. The minors are doing okay. We're having some struggles in AA and single A plus, and as you guys can see, AAA is technically 9 games behind, but that's just because of the fact that AAA is so congested. It's not like the majors where it has, a balance of players and teams. The Isotopes are literally fighting against 4 other competitors who are basically really, really good teams. Like Round Rock is basically Texas's depth chart system at this point. You got people who shouldn't even be here, basically. People who should be in the majors bar none in the majors at this point. So, regardless, they're doing really well. They're actually performing pretty well. The development is there. We're doing good. We're hopefully going to be able to start seeing some of these people like Navarre and Mulan be able to, start cracking maybe the top. I mean, Mulan especially top 50, but Navarre maybe top 10 down the road. If he continues to develop and gets a whole bunch of his overall and his potential up, that's when you start to see some really good results from that. We're still waiting to see how people like Javi Castro do in the minors. He's been dropping down to 3 stars, unfortunately, but he's got some good defense. If he can get the bat back up, that's pretty good. He'd be a good enough player for us. And then, as always, we're still waiting on people like Danny Rodriguez to join us out of the international complex system, to join people like Antonio Castilla. So, unfortunately, Castilla not having a great season so far, but it's still doing okay-ish. We definitely need to work on him, unfortunately, and get that stamina back up. But he's still got some really good results that he could get out of his ratings, and we're still hopeful he'll be able to develop alongside the rest of our squads. As always, though, we will let you guys all know how we perform over the course of the rest of the regular season. I am expecting for us to be able to clinch playoffs very, very soon. Yeah, our magic number is down to 63. We have the tied for second, sorry, lowest magic number, besides, of course, the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. But otherwise, I'm hopeful that we will not be seeing the Dodgers again. With that, at this point, the Dodgers should probably not be in the playoffs. Whatever again. They've been in here for a long time, every single season, except for 2028 when we knocked them out completely, us and the Padres. Otherwise, they have pretty much always been here as a quality team. And finally, we might be able to say the Dodgers' era of a dynasty is officially over. So hope and pray for that. I'll let you all know how we do in the next episode. Hopefully, it's another one.